Hey guys, welcome back to part 3 of the Operation V set review, and this time is the most famous of them all, the RX-78-2 Gundam. And let's start by having a look at the quite colorful color scheme of the White Devil. Thanks a lot, Sunrise. So one of the major differences is once again that the gray has a slight greenish tint to it for some reason. Now, the other major difference in the color scheme is that the blue is lighter than the original one. Now, the yellow also seems to be slightly darker. Now, I'm not quite sure of the yellow, I'm just trying to find differences here. Just as with the red, I think that it's slightly lighter on the newer release, but the white seems to be pretty much identical. Now, I did do the wisest thing. I looked up the color guide of both the original one and this one, and guess what? They just copied the color guide of the original one in the Operation V set manual. Seriously, Bandai, what the hell were you thinking? I mean, there are people out there who like to paint their models in the exact same colors simply because it looks a lot better and you can get rid of seam lines and yeah, all that stuff. So if you're one of those people, good luck trying to paint them in the exact same colors because they didn't provide them. Yeah, thanks a lot. So once again, the yellow, white and red might be different, they might be the same because I'm just trying to find differences. And you know how brains are, they like to see things that aren't really there. So yeah, let's get back on track with the stickers. Now, you get two for the eyes, one for the left and one for the right and one for the left. Well, it does, thanks to that, they do fold somewhat easier. It's a bit of a pain to get them to line up correctly, but once you get them lined up, they look really nice. Then there's one for the main camera and another one for the back camera. Now, that's all for normal stickers, and of course, because this is the Operation V set review, you also get these special stickers. I kind of like the clear marking ones. Yeah, just all over the body, also a few in the back, and of course, you have a lot left to go crazy. Once again, I applied all the ones you have to apply according to the manual, and you still have a lot left. So, if you like stickers, go crazy. Now, one thing, once again, about the manual, like I showed in my Gundam and Gun Cannon reviews, they show that stickers should go here, but obviously, well, one, the stickers are way too big, and two, they don't actually show it in the manual. I'm really starting to hate that manual now, and I feel like tearing it up. Because, of course, I already built the model, so I don't really need it anymore. Yeah. Now back on track with articulation now. Head goes up, down, we'll turn around all the way. Now the arms, quite surprisingly, do go somewhat backwards and forwards. Will of course rotate around all the way because they are in a peg. Arms only one joint and about 90 degrees, a bit less. Hands are, as usual, on a ball joint. We'll wiggle around, turn around, do everything a ball joint does. That's it. Now the torso, when you extend a little bit, also has a little bit of movement side to side. Nothing forwards and backwards, but there's also a little part in here, so that if you move side to side, it looks like there's still something inside of there, which is actually a really good idea because now he looks a lot more mechanical, even if it's like trying to go side to side. And you will go about that far left and right because of course that piece is still in the way. So you win some, but you lose some as well. Now legs will go outwards about that far. Side skirts, once again, quite surprisingly, are molded together, but you can separate them. So legs go forwards about that far, backwards that far. Then the knees are double jointed, but yeah, a bit more than 90 degrees. The feet are also on a double joint. You have a little hinge here and then a ball joint at the bottom. So go that far forwards with the hinge, that far backwards with the hinge as well. Now with both joints, that makes this far backwards and that far forwards. Now of course this foot guard also moves a bit upwards and downwards. Whoops. Then the feet also goes side to side like that and like that. And will not rotate around because you have some really nice mechanical detail in there. So for articulation, well, I might have given it a bit too much praise during the EcoPlur review, but for a kit this old, it's still some very decent articulation, and it does kind of hold its own against some of the newer ones. Now, for accessories, and that's where this guy really starts to shine. So, you get 3 sets of hands, 2 standard holding ones, which can of course hold the beam sabers. And once again, very surprisingly for a kit of this age, you get 2 clear pink beams. Now, there is one problem, and that's because of the Operation V of the Operation V box. As you can see, this one is bent. Now, that is because they simply they kind of literally just threw all the runners in the box without thinking too much about it. And this part of the bazooka here, imagine this is the runner, and this bazooka sticks out like that. I mean, of course, just this part. And this beam saber was right above it, so pressure bent it. Yeah, so it had just been a little bit smarter with the placement of the runners. This wouldn't have happened. Oh, well, I guess a hairdryer will fix that. So, the beams will fit nicely into the beam sabers, into the beam saber handles, of course. And yeah, for a kit of this age, I mean, contemporary model kits, I think this was during the time that most kits came with those horrible, atrocious toothpick thingies, like the ones that are just a solid piece. And not even the ones that are solid and clear plastic, I mean the solid plastic ones. So yeah, that's some really nice little accessory you got here. Now, other accessories of course include a trigger finger hand with the beam rifle, and it sits reasonably secure in there. It moves a little bit, but not too much. Pop off the hand and pop this one in. Now you've got a movable scope, up and down a little bit, and then a movable handle. And he's able to hold it really nicely, and you can also have some nice shooting poses thanks to those movable shoulders. So once again, despite his age, you can still get some really nice movements, some really nice poses out of this guy. Now, another accessory, of course, is his bazooka. Now, you can do some things with the bazooka. Number 1, you can remove this panel here. If you can get it out. Oh, that went faster than expected. And replace it with this little holding thing here. Just put it in there and slide in, and it sits in there very securely. Now let's just pop it back out. Now, one thing I do have to warn you about with these old style hands, if you remove the cover a lot, it will start falling out very easily. So number 2 to do with it is put it in the trigger finger hand. It's a bit loose in there, but of course because this is a bazooka, it goes over the shoulder and then it will sit in there very securely. Now, number 3 is put it in the holding hand, which works great actually. So you can have him dual wield even though he only has a left normal holding hand. Now his last accessory for the mobile suit itself is of course the standard shield. Fits in there with a peg, and he can technically also hold on to the handle here, but it looks kind of awkward when he does it, so I'm not gonna bother. You can hold it low like this so that you could put it in there, and then it looks quite weird like that. Or simply move it around so that it sits a little bit higher and more natural like that. And the final accessory is of course the core fighter. Now it also comes with a tiny little landing gear. The unfortunate thing is that if you pull them out, they of course still have holes in them and you don't get anything to cover up the holes. So it's always best to leave the landing gear on. Oh yeah, the core fighter also has a set of stickers to go with it, like these things here for the intakes, the Federation symbols, but of course this little guy requires a lot of painting, so I couldn't be bothered applying him just yet. Now, oh yeah, some final things. Of course the shield can also be mounted on the back. I simply pull out the peg and put it in the hole here, and some little more movement on the bazooka. This little flap here also moves. Now, time for some of the pros and cons of this machine. Now, one of the immediate pros is that the special edition stickers look extremely good on this guy. They really, well, you can really see which is the main model of all three of them, because the stickers here, they really did a good job. I mean, you've even got Armor's insignia, a red unicorn here, if the camera wants to pick it up, and also the same unicorn on the other side. And you even get two more smaller unicorns to apply to your liking. So really nice there. Another pro is, well, articulation is kind of like give and take. He has some good things about his articulation, but others such as the legs do leave a bit to be desired, especially after I've seen the articulation of the gun cannon. I mean, I always say articulation all depends on what role the mobile suit should fulfill. And this is a close combat machine. The gun tank is a support mobile suit. You would expect the close range model to have superior articulation, and this guy is older. So yeah, articulation is a bit give and take, but overall it's still a great model, especially for 2001. I mean, you've even got the clear pink beams. So for 2001, this is a great model. For today's standards, it's reasonably okay. And now to wrap up with some size comparisons. Here you once again have him side to side with the Black Devil. If he wants to stand up, there we go. A quick comparison shot with his sister units. I do realize that I do have a knack for calling them guys and him, while of course they are machines and therefore should be female. I probably wouldn't have that problem with the Noble Gundam though. And final comparison with the Jim Custom and his younger brother and successor, the Gundam Mark II, which is a little bit bigger actually. Yeah, I say a little bit, but that's actually quite significantly bigger. And you know what? Let's do it. Let's do a final one. Here you have the mass production type, the Jim. So that's all for part 3, and see you at part 4.